Being creative is a walk in the park.
It's art time with Mr. Mayberry. Let's get busy.
Welcome to Art Time with Mr. Mayberry. Today is part 2 of designing a theme park. Today we're going to be working on our theme park maps. And there's 4 things I'd like you to include on your map. Number 1 is some type of ride. Number 2 is an example of a game. Number 3 is a show of some kind. And number 4 is a food stand or a restaurant. So let's get started. It's time to make some art. Okay, before you even start, it might be good to look at some actual maps. If you have any theme park maps, or if you have one from a state map, you could look at those to get an idea of how maps are put together. Again, a theme park map, though, would be good because you could see how a professional theme park has been arranged. Now, for paper-wise, I'm using a 12 by 18 inch piece of just regular drawing paper out of a pad. You could also use just 8.5 by 11 copy paper. This project also lends itself to being a group project where you could have 4 people working together, and then you could put each of the 4 pieces together to make the map, the larger map. Of course, if you're working on your own, you could do this as well. But if you have 4 people, each person could do one of the 4 things. One could do a ride, one could do a game, one could do a show, and one could do a food stand. And then you would have your unifying park. You'd have everything together. But then when you were finished, you could cut it up, and each person could take their own piece home. So it's a good way to. It's a good project for a group project as well. And for brainstorming and coming up with your ideas, it's good to work in groups like that and learn how to do that. For this one, I went ahead and kind of did a preliminary sketch to try to figure out where I wanted to put everything before I actually worked on the map itself. So I did a sketch first, and then let me show you how the finished map turned out. And I say finished, but it could have, there's a lot more I could add to it. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of how to get going on this and how to do this project. So what we have here, I designed what the park layout should look like as far as the shape of or design of the park as a whole, and I made mine look like a palette, like an art palette, just like I did in the logo. And then I kind of divided it up into different sections by color. Now, I could have blocked off entire sections, but I just went with shapes similar to what you might see blobs of paint on the palette. Beside each of these sections, I put a letter. So beside the ride, I put an A. Beside the game, I put a B. Beside the show, or above the show here, I put a C. And above the food stand, I put a D. And then down below here, I have a key that explains what each of these things are. Of course, you could write the names of them out to the side. And I tried to come up with different things that all fit the theme. So the game is called, the ride is called the color wheel. So you have a wheel almost like a Ferris wheel that goes around that you would ride. Then you have the game being Name the Artist, and it would be a theater that you would go into, and they would have like a game show type thing. And then the actual show is Art Time Puppet Theater. So again, you have a theater you go into, and there would be a puppet show. And then the food stand is shaped like a big giant bottle of paste, and the name of the stand is Don't Eat the Paste. So that's my 4 things that I came up with. Now, I did leave room there, and there is room in the park to put more, and you can do that as well. And so I put a 5th thing here, and that is the supply cabinet, and this is a place for souvenirs. And notice it's close to the exit, so as you're leaving, you can buy a souvenir. As you go in, you could buy a souvenir. But I put that by the exit. So, and then there's pathways to each of these places from one to the other. And of course, you could put all kinds of topiary things, or I put a fountain here. You could put all kinds of extra things in your park as well. But I just want to do something basic so you could kind of get an idea of how you might go about making yours. And then in the sides, in the margins, I have other things here. I've got the logo up here, Artland. Also, there was a sign over the entrance here, Artland. I forgot to mention that. And then on the upper right, I have a compass that shows you which way is north, south, west, and east. And I've used pencils to design that compass. And then down here in the bottom right, I have my mascot for Artland, which is Sticky, the bottle of glue. And so this is what I decided to do for this project. Go ahead and get started. Take your time. Have fun. Do a good job. And that's our project for today, making a map for an amusement park. If you like this project, you might want to take it a step farther and build a model of one of the attractions at your theme park. Or maybe even a model of the entire theme park. Well, thanks for coming to art class, and I'll see you next time.
See you later. Hi, bye.
Now, where did I park my car?